Hello and welcome back to another History of Overwatch VOD review. We're going back once again. So we just last watched Apex Season 1, Rogue versus Envy. Envy won that. We watched it with Johnny. It was a good time. We got to see Johnny's tears, but it was good going back in time. So we're going to go into Season 2. There was a couple of tournaments that happened between Apex Season 1 and Apex Season 2. Envy goes on to win Apex Season 1. Around that time, DreamHack is happening. And that was in Jönköping, I believe. We came second in that. Misfits came first. It was a pretty good tournament. After that, there was MLG Vegas, I believe, which Envy went on to win like very convincingly. Like Envy was just way better than everyone. They had been boot camping in Korea. After that tournament, we actually got invited. So there were a bunch of teams that went to Apex Season 2. Last time there was only 2 teams, Rogue and Envy, that went. This season for Apex Season 2, all the best Western teams went from NA and Europe. Okay, so myself with Team Fnatic with the roster that we saw before, Vonathil, Stoop, Cool Matt, Have Cool Buds, myself. Cloud9 went, that had Mendekusai, Shore4, Gods, Rib, Adam, Rolf. And there were a couple of other teams. We also got Team Envy, obviously went with the same team that they won the previous year. And then there was Rogue again, I believe. Or was it Misfits? Are they missing a team? I 100% know Johnny was there when we were there. Oh, Misfits, there it is. Looking for Misfits in the bottom right. Misfits went. So this is after the disbanding of Rogue. Misfits became a team and they also got invited. It's a fully Swedish team. We got Manhattan, Tavik, Zebasai, Reinforce, Zave, and Nevix. Nevix was back on support back in those times. He was playing Ana, but he was known as a very flexible player. So this is the match. This is like the tournament where all the West, like obviously Envy just won in Season 1. So they invited a ton more Western teams. So they invited like us 4 teams. They're like, yeah, then they'll be super competitive. This will be the best tournament ever. Between Season 1 and Season 2 of Apex was the definitive switch of the Korean players being better and Korean teams just being better than the West. This is like the first time. Team Envy, I think, did the best out of everyone. I think they were the only team to make it out of groups. Yeah. Out of all the Western teams, they were the only team to make it out of groups. Cloud9 went 1 and 2. We went 1 and 2. And Misfits went 1 and 2. But Envy went 1 with 2 and 1. They did have, I would say, the easiest group out of all of us. But Team Envy was probably still the best out of all of our Western teams. But the Korean teams have just leveled up. This is when we're starting to see these like super teams and big names that you know of now started to come away. So we were in a group with Kongju, Panthera, and Runaway. And they were just nuts. Like, let me bring up the names of these players. So, Kongju Panthera, Rascal, Evermore, who was the first player to ever hit 5,000 SR, Fisher, Bling, Luffy. So, the 4 of those names you should know. And then, obviously, we had Runaway, which had Stitch, Huxel, Bumper, Kaiser, Coma, Runner, Cox, Shine. Like, this is, like, dumb good teams. And we were in their group, so we were always going to struggle. We also had Flash Lux, which wasn't a good team except for one player, Fleta. And this is like, Fleta literally carried this team so hard. Fleta was like nuts back then. And this is when he first started really making his name before he went on to a good team. So that was the only team that we ended up beating in our group. And then all these other teams were like really good as well. I would say the 2 best teams in this tournament, I believe they're the teams that went... Well, there's 3 teams that were really the best. We're about to watch Runaway versus Lunatic High. 2 very, very good teams. I do want to give a shout out to LW Blue as well. This was a very scary team at this time as well. So Bjolby, Flower, Meko, Yanis, Gambler, and Luna. And they had Agape and Pavan as their coaches. Like, this is like LW Blue. When we were in Korea, there were 3 teams that we just never beat. We didn't really scrim Kongju to Panthera or Runaway. So there were 2 teams that we never even beat. We would play maps on maps on maps, and if we won a map, that was a successful scrim block. We were so far behind these teams, and that's Lunatic High and LW Blue. These guys were just like reinventing the game, and they just bodied everyone. This is like, I remember talking to all the Western teams, and we're just like, bro, These guys are really good now, and this is the next level up. So that's sort of the idea of where we are at in the history of Overwatch. The flip of Korean Overwatch has really taken its toll, and they are starting to become dominant. We're gonna watch the grand finals, Runaway versus Lunatic High. This is a crazy match that ended up going to 7, I believe. And it's just early Overwatch. This is Nanoblade era as well. The meta that we're in Apex Season 2 is Nanoblade Dive is like very prominent, if I remember correctly. People are still playing like a Brawl-ish with the Lucio Ana, so they do play Ryan from time to time, but it's very heavily into Nanoblade. And this is really, I know a lot of people like look back and everyone knows Haksol is this world-class Genji that got hyped up into OW. Back in these days, Who Are You was better than Haksol. I genuinely believe Who Are You was the best Genji in the world. The dude's just ability to just dominate games was just insane. And we're going to see these two play off in this match, and they're just going to absolutely dunk on everybody. So let's get the match started. It is a long one, so let's just keep going. Let's turn down the voice. Obviously, I don't believe there is an English cast available. I don't really care about the cast anyway, so we'll watch this. I like listening to the Korean casters as well. Apex Season 2. Finals. Runaway versus Lunatic High. So Runaway, as I said, we got Stitch and Haksol on DPS. We got Bumper and Kaiser on tank. And we got Runner and Cox on support. Lunatic High, we got Esker and Who Are You on DPS, Miro Zumba on tank, and Toby J-Hong on support. So Lunatic High essentially became a lot of what was Seoul Dynasty, and MYXL was LW Blue. And Kongdu Panthera, sort of. Wait, no, I'm putting teams together, but yeah. Oh, so we gotta pause off the bat. Classic. Esker, what a throwback. Yeah, Esker. Why do I think Esker wins the MVP for this match? Just like look at these guys. Actually, let's look at this. Look at how young everyone is. Everyone's little babies. Like, this is when Runner was playing as well. So for a lot of people who don't know, Runner is like, he's kind of like the general manager of Runaway before they disbanded, and he's kind of like the brain of Runaway. There's Zumba. Like, old school, dude. Stitch, Stitch looks 12. I'm convinced Stitch is 12. Oh, what? So they started? Oh, okay, and Haksol killed everyone. Haksol just killed everyone. I don't even know how that happened, but Haksol just killed everyone. Flashback, 1, 2, another one. Look at how good they are, bro. Like, they're in a completely different level. Actually, let me move my camera as well here. All right, here we go, baby. We're getting Nanoblade soon. This is, I will also say, this is my favorite. Oh, big sleep. This was my favorite form of Overwatch. In my opinion, this was the best form of Overwatch that we ever played. Everyone could make plays. Like, your Ryan had Shatter. He did kind of get bullied, but he could just, like, go for crazy plays. He had Shatter. Your Zarya had Grab. The Lucio had Beat and was just, like, all over the place. We had the Ana with the Nano with the potential sleeps. You had Hitscan with the McCree. Like, it was just... It's honest Overwatch. Like, straight up honest Overwatch. Like, everyone has value. Nothing really feels, like, super broken. Best bits of every corner of Overwatch, yeah. Everyone has playmaking potential. Oh, big yeet. Oh my god, that was a crazy grab. Good beat. I love how hyped they get. Dude, Stitch is just running. I would have shouted. Oh, who are you with the pulled blade? Oh. Bumper always hitting W. Yeah, this is back when, like, Bumper wasn't the main tank, right? Bumper was, like, the off tank, and he was just dumb aggressive on the Zarya. Kaiser's actually a really interesting story as well, because Kaiser was, like, considered the original, like, Reinhardt one-trick. He was really good during this time. But I don't think his Winston ever really got very good, and he just never got picked up for Al. He's kind of like a strange story of, like, he's like, you look at the accolades and where all these players went in this lobby. For the most part, everyone was really successful. Kaiser should have been as well, but he just never was. Oh, big sleep. And then Brig literally destroyed a lot of the game. Brig and Goats essentially changed the way the game was played for a really long time, and it sort of shifted around who was valuable and who wasn't. But Johnny was the original OG Ryan one trick. No, that was in, like, the Western scene. This is in the Korean scene. And, like, Miro was good at Ryan, but he really made his name on Winston in, like, the first few, like, between 2017 and 2018, he really made his name prominent with Winston. That's true. Kaiser did have good English. I think he played in a couple of NA contenders teams, I believe. Dragon Wolf, thank you very much for 2 years as well. You're wonderful and amazing, yo. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Not a blade. Does he have movement speed at this? I don't believe he has movement speed at this point. Woof. Also, something worth noting is about this time as well is, right, like, you look at the UI, and this is kind of where we are now, right? Like, this is the beginning of when the UIs really started to become a big thing. Dude, they are just going dumb aggressive in spawn. Oh, big sleep. Dude, Huxall just went sicko mode in this round. But, like, yeah, like, this is around when the game really started becoming polished, and this is sort of beginning, like, to the end of when they really started, like, changing the way the UI laid out. Because I think this is we're starting to see the first time that it actually, like, told you how someone died, right? Like, headshot, nade, you know, sleeps, all those kind of things. Might have been Lucio's speed boost. Yeah, I'm not sure. What happened to Cox? I actually don't know. There's a couple of players that, I don't really know what happened to them. Cox was really good. I don't think he was as good as, like, Jaehong and stuff like that, but he was very good. I think OGN, like, they definitely, and, like, Apex definitely did the best, like, player viewer experience, right? Like, there was so much player personality shown, and I think a lot of what Overwatch League built was based around what OGN did. I'm that Custa guy got washed. Dude, Huxall is just showing giving Who Are You the business right now. So I sound real how good the production was. Yeah, it was so ahead of its time. Like, I remember being there, and, like, the studio, everything was just so good. Like, I would say it would have been on par with what they were doing at Overwatch League, right? And that's pretty impressive for just, like, an individual Korean studio, right? Eska was, like, a nutty tracer. So the way it generally worked is the DPS kind of played the same thing. If I remember correctly, the DPS played the same thing in sort of, like, they played the Genji with the Lucio Ana for a lot of the time, and then the Tracer player would switch to McCree if they were playing, like, the Ryan Zarya. Otherwise, they would play Winston Diva Tracer with a full-on dive with the Nanoblade, or they would play the Ryan Zarya with a McCree / Cassidy with the Nanoblade. Oh, good pulse. Who needs casters to master when you go masters to casters? That's funny. I like that. All right, come on. We're pulling the trigger. Good beat. Oh, there we go. The Jaehong special, baby. If it wasn't clear, Jae-hong has always been the fan favorite. Oof, that was nasty by Who Are You. Dude, whenever Jae-hong hit a sleep, everyone would go wild, dude. Jae-hong was the GOAT. Jae-hong was the, like, Anna GOAT back in the day. Alright, Tracer. I honestly, am I the only one that feels like the Genji's the only one killing anything? Oh, Stitch. Good eat. Oh, no. He's like calling for the players. Oh, no. Who's the best Ana now? That's a hard question. I kind of want to say like Fielder? Twilight? Yeah, Alarm. Yeah, that's... I mean, Izuyaki Simp. Yeah, but I think Izuyaki Zen is way better than his Ana. It honestly might be Twilight. We just haven't seen it a lot. Ed Bull, thank you very much for 3 months. Hiya, how you doing? When do you think Jae-hong peaked? Right now. Jae-hong was at his best in this Apex season. I believe this is when Jae-hong was like the best in here, and he lived off of those things. Cause like, let's be realistic. I don't think Jae-hong was ever that good in AO. Like in terms of the pedestal that he was still great, right? But in terms of the pedestal that we put him on coming into Overwatch League, I don't think he ever really hit that again. But I think Jae-hong was at his best here. Same with Toby. I think Toby was at his best here as well. Oh, the Pharah Mercy? Look at this shit. Mercy Lucio. Good luck getting healed, Kaiser. You just don't get healed. Bumper on Mercy. That is interesting. Wait, what is happening? They're playing triple DPS. I didn't even realize they were playing triple DPS. Yeah. Triple DPS with Bumper on Mercy. And Cox, the Ana player, goes to Pharah. And they still have the Genji. I'm so confused. It works, hey. If it ain't broke, don't fix. Because you don't really need, like, a diva here, right? Zumba's getting bullied. Dude, Stitch is just holding on to this pulse bomb. That triples DPS live, dude. That you see it a lot in season 1 of AO. I like forget that that's how the game was played. Oh shit! I forget that that's how the game was played. You know, like forget that you could play triple DPS at some points. It's just the way it was. Oh, nice pulse. Yeet. Oh, Jae-hong, baby. Like, just, like, think about it. Like, he's sleeping Genji after Genji after Genji. Like... If Bumper doesn't go aggressive with Valk, then I'm going to be very disappointed. No, you're thinking of it wrong. I think Mercy still has... Mercy isn't Moth yet. Moth only came in towards 2018. I'm trying to think of what iteration of Mercy this is. This might still be AoE Res Mercy. Yeah, this is probably just AoE Res Mercy still. Oh god, yeah, like... Moth didn't come in until, yeah, the beginning of 2018. Is Moth Mercy named Moth the player? No, it's just like, it's a very annoying flying thing, just refuses to die, and that's why it's called Moth. Oh! I don't know about that beat. Dude, this match is super close. I saw the biggest moth I've ever seen in my life slamming into my bathroom window. Wow, that's terrifying. Oh, bumper! Oh, bumper goes down. Kaiser down. The Custa hype is so nice, dude. They just get so into it. I love watching it at like 3 a.m. Yeah, I remember watching this match live as well. It was actually crazy how good it was. I gotta close the window. Oh, runners, Lucio now. Oh, the barrage! Dude, barrage nano blade. Deal with that. Oh wait, no, naked blade. Because they don't have an Ana. Dude, this is so close. Oh my god, I thought that Tracy didn't have recall. Why are they all plat border? We're in like a tournament realm. Oh! So it just like gives you everything. Oh, there's the res for you. Oh, the beat from fucking Orbit. Oh my god. Oh, that was a crazy rocket by Cox. Oh, there he goes. Runaway gets the first map with the triple DPS setup. Dude, that was crazy. Alright. Part 2. Oh, wait. Watch this. Look at this shit. The intros. They did that every time. Every time they would have a team cheering and someone would be their cheer squad and they'd go, 1, 2, 3, fighting! It was so nice. Roadhog. Alright, so what are we gonna get? Defensive Runaway is playing triple tank, 1 Tracer solo DPS. Does Lunatic high 1 trick Genji Ana? Dude, so many pauses. Is this Scatter Arrow Hanzo? I think it is, yeah. Okay. Hello? Jaehong looks like such a gremlin. I remember in season 1 of OWL, because Jaehong had this really weird setup where he would always play with his desk higher than everyone else. So what he used to do is he used to have a different desk that was higher because he liked to like playing like that. And I remember in like the inaugural season, they asked like, can we have a different desk height? And they're like, no. And he ended up having a box for his desk That was like their solution to the problem. Why don't you dress that nice while at the desk? Well, this is for the grand finals, you know. They would dress nice for the grand finals. You know why I've never dressed that nice for the desk? Because I've never done the desk at a grand finals. Like at the live grand finals, it's always been like a more casual attire because it's weird wearing like a suit and a tux in your living room or like in those kind of situations, so. You're a special guest at season 1's in your jersey. Yeah, but you gotta go with your jersey. Oh? Toby farming on the Zen? Dude, who are you's just not even being looked at. Holy shit, how many did who are you just kill? So Lunatic are playing the Lucio Ana. They played Zen on attack though, this is interesting. I wonder if that's the count of the tanks. Nano Blade, let's do it. Oh! Oh, and the grab went out as well. That's so bad. Woo! This is like peak Genji gameplay. Peak Genji gameplay. Ryu's so good, yeah. Time to get off tanks, I think, Runaway. Why didn't they try and grab the blade? I think this might be during the era in which Genji can dash out of the grab. Right? I think so. What? Yeah. Like, so back in the early days of grab, if you had a big enough movement ability, you could get out. So, like, Tracer can blink out of it. Genji can dash out of it. What are other ones? I don't know if there were many other ones. Yeah, I think you could teleport out of it if you were a Reaper. But yeah. Winston, I don't think you can Winston jump out of it. I don't think you can Winston jump. I don't know if D.Va could fly out either. I can't remember. But yeah, there are a lot more options. The grab was a lot worse. Oh, missleap. Oh! You can't lose these, Eska. Oh, he gives up. It wasn't a change made in 2017. I can't remember exactly. Remember, this is very early 2017. Yeah, there wasn't many counters to Nano Blade here. Like, literally, you just had to take it or like take it, get a defensive ult. Oh, miss. Oh! Big play by Cox. The Kaiser kills both backliners? He looks like he has movement speed. Am I crazy with the Nano Blade? When did smooth... Does anyone know, like, when speed was removed from Nano? Could just be a Lucio. Oh, wow. Huxo just bodied him. Wasn't even Nano? I think this is before Lucio's auras were changed. That's actually a good question. Is Lucio's auras enormous still? This might, like, I'm trying to remember what move, like, yeah, I thought the nano speed was removed. Maybe it's just Lucio speed. But this is like, they reduce the aura of Lucio, like, speed and like stuff by like a lot. Oh wow, good find. Woo! Yeah, I think they got rid of the speed pretty early on. I think you're right. How do I do that? Don't. You can't. Nano movement speed was moved in 11/15/2016. Okay, yeah, so it's definitely not nano movement speed. So they grab the Zarya? He's trying to work out where to grab. Oh, the support's on high ground. Smart. Oh, wow. Bumper really didn't want to use the grab on the Zarya, so he just died. Oh! That was a sick pin by Kaiser. Classic Kaiser. Legitimately just straight up classic Kaiser. Oh, I don't know about that beat by Runner. Oh, good grab. He did nano the Genji though on the way out. Who are you? What do you got? Oh, he didn't get his last slash off. Oh. Oh no, Huxel had the blade. The colors are definitely reversed on the top side. Bumper doesn't have... Oh, Bumper switches to the Diva to stall. Oh, big slam. Oh, the Zai's won. The grab. Huxel pulled the blade, but it's not enough. Oh, they got the nano... They used nano blade at the end there. That was a waste of ult economy. Runaway used everything that they had there. But I guess so did Lunatic High. Tracer blinks look so disorientating compared to now. How so? Did they change blinks? Looking at the booty. Like, it's just... What are we doing here? Just power stancing on the cart. Fan service right there. They know what the people are here for. Eska knows what's up. Eska. Oh! The defected sleep. Alright, alright, alright. Who are you needs to get to this blade? Oh, Jay hung down. Alright, reset, reset, reset. I didn't even remember who wins. Actually, maybe I do remember who wins. Bumper Zarya? Yeah, dude, Kaiser taught Bumper everything he knows. Kaiser was the OG man with no plan pinning in. Nano Blade. Oh, he's not gonna get it. They did use the beat though, so you take those. Here we go. Oh, he fucked it up. Oh! Not great, not bad. They need to do a stitch. Oh, good grab by Bumper. Does he have pulse? No, Stitch doesn't have pulse. Huxel blade though. Yo, gotta. Oh! Oh my god, they're gonna hold. Oh, C9. Woo. Dude, that is so back and forth. These fights are crazy. in an Apex game? I love that that's become such a meme. Trobion? Triple tank Torb. No, triple tank, double DPS, solo support Ana. That's a lot of faith in Jaehong to heal everybody. Was it C9 at C9 at this point? So, funny story actually. Apex Season 2, I'll just keep it running because it's a long series. Apex Season 2 was the origin of C9. Cloud9 played in Apex Season 2, and in their match against Afrika Freaks Blue, I believe it was, they had 2 tragic C9s. Like, really bad, and that's where the origin of C9 came. So it actually began at Apex Season 2 in this tournament. Torb before the rework? Yeah, I can't remember what Torb's abilities were at this point. Oh, actually, yeah, this is a level 1 turret. This is back when you used to level up the turret as well, from level 1 to level 2. Dude, he got nano so fast. Come get your armor. Oh, that's true. Armor packs. Is this armor pack Torb? Oh, that's right. That's why this would work. So if you won the first team fight, you would get the nano, and that would hold. And then the Torb, for anyone who doesn't know what armor pack Torb is, whenever anyone would die, I think only oppositions, you would get this armor, and so you could level up your turret to level 2, but you would also have an armor number. I don't know where it tells him how much armor he has. Oh, here, on the right. For every 50 armor, you can drop an armor pack, and it gives someone permanently 75 armor until it is removed. So what would happen is you would be able to get a ton of armor for your team and your supports. And the ult was a level 3 turret, that's right. When you press Q, your turret would go to level 3 instantly, and it would do a ton of damage. Kind of like TF2 Engineer. Oh, and Torb got a lot of health. Yeah, look at how much health Toby has. So his turret goes to level 3, gets to 800 health, and Toby also has 500 health. So it's kind of like a primal rage for a Torb. Haksel Genji though. Nano visor, baby. Some things never change. Yo, I forgot about that iteration of Torb. I didn't remember the health boost either. So look, now he gives the armor pack to Ana. So then Jaehong has a little bit of extra health. Oh shit! Oh wow, good block by Miro. Oh god. Save the Torb, save the world! Poor Toby. What? Miro? Oh, Miro's so dead. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Okay. What happened to Eska now? Eska never got signed to Al. I actually don't know why Eska never really got signed out. I think Eska peaked this season and then didn't have a very good season after that. And then I think he didn't have a very good hit scan. So I think Lunatic High ended up becoming Seoul Dynasty, and Seoul Dynasty picked up Fleder instead of Eska, if I remember correctly. And then Eska left to PUBG. Did Eska leave to PUBG before Al? Or did he not get picked up for Al and then went to PUBG? I can't remember. Yo. Before Al, if I recall, yeah. I'm not 100% sure about that. But yeah. Ooh. Dude, Kaiser just don't give a fuck. Yeah, Eska, this was by far Eska's best tournament. Eska was very inconsistent. That is true. Like, Eska had some real stinker games. Oh, also, fucking slow elevator Hollywood. This is like the worst design in the history of Overwatch. That slow moving escalator. fact that Kaiser never made League is so sad to me. I think Kaiser's biggest issue was that I don't think he ever really adopted Winston. I don't think he ever... So this is, funnily enough, this is the last tournament to ever run before Overwatch League, before Contender Season 0. This was the last tournament. After this tournament, there is like a 6-month hiatus of like no tournaments. So a lot of players like really were going off of this thing, because what Blizzard just like stopped allowing teams to run tournaments. Maybe they did a 3rd season of Apex. Maybe I'm thinking of only NA tournaments. Was thing. I think there might have been a season 3 of Apex. Didn't Apex go to season 4? I think Apex season 4 happened towards the end of... I can't remember when Apex season 4 happened, actually. But yeah, I think maybe Apex was kept running, and I'm only thinking from an NA perspective. Because after season 2, no NA teams went to... So maybe I'm just thinking of NA teams. There was a... So maybe Apex kept running and but NA didn't. Oh, whoa! So fast. Dive Reinhardt, that's what this is. Then one of the Spitfire, I think Kongdu... Yeah, because London Spitfire was Kongdu Panthera and someone combined. Kongdu Panthera and... Why can't I think of this team? GC Busan. Yeah, combined. And they were like the rise of like season 3 and season 4. Just runs. Oh. Oh no, C9! Oh, I guess the fight was over. Ana Lucio feels strong. As I said, the early Overwatch. This is honest Overwatch right here, baby. Dude, this match is so long. We're on the 2nd map. They're playing Reinhardt Winston as well. GC Basan and Kongdu Panthera were both very, very, very good. And then they combined, right? And that's why everyone was very excited, hyped up on London Spitfire, and obviously went on to win on the London Spitfire because those teams were just so good. Oh. 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 Cox got him, but that was a good blade. See, what's not to like about this version of Overwatch? There's just plays being made all over the place. Fast-paced, exciting, not just built around ultimates. Like, ultimates are a thing, especially Nano Blade, but everything else is like, there's just a lot of gameplay happening at all times. They're just not showing Huxall's Nano Blade. Boom. Runaway goes up 2-0. Dude, they used to get so excited. Oh my god. No, yeah, this is before Baptiste. This is before Brig. Sometimes you just gotta kiss a homie, you know? Excitement from them is so cute, yeah. The excitement from them is just like the best. Esco signed to Dynasty but retired before the league started. Really? I did not know that. Interesting. Seoul Dynasty was so hyped up and was a bit disappointing. And here's the reason, right? So we're talking about Apex Season 2, right? And we're like, oh, this team essentially became Seoul Dynasty in the future. What happened was during the period from 2017, like thing, Lunatic High wasn't the best anymore, right? Like Runaway and Lunatic High, I think Lunatic High sort of had their bit of a dip towards the end of 2017, but they got signed to Seoul Dynasty, and everyone was still high on them because they win this season. They have great players, but the best players during that time was the team that became London Spitfire, right? And New York Excelsior. LW Blue, Kongdu Panthera, GC Busan, those were like really some of the, like Lunatic High was there, but I think a lot of the Lunatic High players were falling off as like these other players were peaking. So Seoul Dynasty just never really hit that peak in season 1. Obviously they were still a very good team, but they just weren't, it was just disappointing. Yeah, maybe you knew I wasn't going to play. Also, maybe you just loved PUBG. 2017, a lot of PUBG was played. I played a lot of PUBG in 2017. Good dive. People really, yeah, like people thought Dallas Fuel and Seoul Dynasty were going to be the 2 teams to beat. And then people thought London Spitfire some people thought London Spitfire would be better. And then Dallas Fuel and Seoul Dynasty both shut the bed. It's hard for OG players to keep up at the top. Yeah, and that's it, right? Like, you don't stay at the top forever, and it's hard to, like, keep that mindset. And it's the exact same thing with Envious, as you said, right? Like, those Envious guys, they were great, and they were still some of the best talent coming out of NA, but they just weren't as good as they used to be, right? When they won in end of 2016. So much changed. How high were people on NYXL? Not that high. People weren't super high on NYXL. People knew they were going to be solid and they were going to be good, but people didn't think they were going to be as dominant as they were. NYXL really defined how the game was played in first season of Overwatch League, with like how they played around Jonak on the Zenyatta. Like Jonak was kind of an unknown. Like no one really knew how good Jonak was heading into the season, and he was surrounded by LW Blue, which was a good team. But yeah, no one knew they were going to be that good. Wasn't he a ranked warlord? Yeah, I think he played a little bit of competitive, but was mainly known for being a ranked warlord. Dude, Lunatic High is flying through this map. That bomb to kill the Genji, though, was enormous. Double melee's the baby diva. Screams. Yo, we were having a great time of honest Overwatch, and then Huxell's got to go and play Mei. Dude, they cannot get Lunatic High. They just can't kill anything. I think this is before the respawn changes came in as well. I think this is before all those changes where it's like if you're on the point for long enough, then overtime spawns start triggering and people start spawning later. So this is just like they're just spawning. That's why it feels like it's taking forever. This is before Tracer Bomb was nerfed. Tracer Pulse Bomb still does 400 damage. I think that changed in first season of Al. Maybe just before the first season of Al. Bro, they just can't. Just let it end. This is 2CP. This is when 2CP was worse. Yeah, I think this is before percentage tracked as well, yeah. This is like you either got the point or you didn't get the point. I think they still saved the ticks at every third, but... Dude, Huxell. They're still fighting. This is so dumb. Whew. Oh my god, Jaehong locking the legs. Yeah, they only have Lucio support. Cox is on Genji and almost has a blade. Diva next. Body block. Oh. Cox blade. That was the worst thing I've ever seen. I forgot how bad that was. What was that? With 3:39 on the clock. Yeah, this is when they used to give you like 4 minutes after the cap as well, right? Like... Alright, so what are we getting? We're getting both teams playing the Ana Genji. Is Miro dead? Ooh. I mentally would have lost my mind. It's just that we just accepted it for the way it was. Like, people hated 2CP, but... You know, it just was what it was. We didn't know anything better. I'm lost. I don't know where we are. Oh, nice. No, Nano doesn't give speed boost. We looked that up. Oh, Nano Winston. Before it was cool. Did not go very well. Get him, Mir Kaiser! Ah! Ah! Oh, run, Eska, run! Yo, that was really well played by Eska. Getting me vibes, just running, man. Oh, he's gonna primal. Oh, that was mean, Miro. Corner juggles before it was cool.
Wobble, wobble, motherfucker.
Pure Symmetry, thank you for the 5 months. Love you, Custa. Yo, thank you very much. I appreciate the 5 months. Oh, nice stick. Huxall is just not really getting anything done right now. Miro can maintain. Yeah, Miro is a better Winston than Kaiser, but I think Kaiser's a better Reinhardt. Oh, that tracking was clean. Yeet. Get him. Wait, the baby didn't die? Oh, Mirasad. Oh, no, that was not the blade by Who Are You. I guess he needed to go sicko mode, otherwise they're going to lose it anyway, so. Big pulse bomb. Oh, that was close. Oh, that's a good bomb. Oh, bumper? All right, all right, all right. All right, I need to go to the bathroom real quick. I'm going to keep it running. Alright, what did I miss? Anything cool happen? Chair is making some good observation. Did the chair say anything interesting? Oh! Dude, just look at how Jae-Hong plays in this match, and you just see that he's... They set up for the next fight? Alright, so I didn't miss anything. Ooh! Oh. And I don't think you could cancel deflect back here. I don't think at this point you could cancel deflect. Oh, Nano. Oh. Oh. Who are you? Pop it, Stitch. You wouldn't. Deflect cancel this thing, yeah. Oh, that's true. You could cancel it with wall climb. That is true. So that was like the OG way to cancel it. This is back when everyone got really excited about like staggers. No one used to stagger baby divas back then. Hey guys, so the dude who owns LGS that I found an Overwatch nerd and I asked if I knew who you were. Turns out he used to play a game called Mafia with you. Name was Pope? Yeah. Pope used to run Daily Mafia back in the day, yeah. He was an OG dude. He fucking sent me to the Thunderdome one time in a Mafia game, but yeah. He was a cool guy. Yep, Cox. Oh? Oh, Mira's so dead. Oh, yeah, super dead. Bumper just rage switched to Roadhog as well. He's ahead of his time. He knew NA ranked would be here. Dude, there's Genjis and there's... Oh, Toby's not dead? Oh! Got him. Dude, these fights are never ending. He's doing really well. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Glad to hear he's doing well. Oh. Oh, good sleep. Oh. These fights, I feel like, last for an eternity. Oh, sheesh. Who are you? Gives no fucks. Honestly, they're both playing for Visor and Blade. I feel like this is just a bad time to have, like, be in the open. But it's exciting Overwatch, man. Like, I forgot how exciting this Overwatch was to used to look in the back. Used to watch back in the day. Like, it's just so interesting. Who Are You in his prime? Yeah, I think Who Are You was better than Huxall at this time. I think Huxall ended up surpassing him, but I think Who Are You... Wait, was that Jaehong on Tracer? Oh, how did Runner die to that? Huxall! Somebody heal Huxall! Oh? Kaiser the Primal? We got Genji on Genji action. Runner being on the most mobile hero in the game and dying to bomb. Ridiculous. Alright, Lunatic high. Finally get a map on the board. 2-1 to Runaway. Alright, we're going to Root. This is a pretty new map at this time, if I remember correctly as well. Runner wasn't the most adept player. You can say it. He was a great leader and he had a great understanding for the game. Runner was not a very good mechanical player. Trust me, I can speak to it. I was kind of the same. I was actually pretty good at this time, but yeah, like... That's why he was GM later, yeah. Like, Toby was just way better at Lucio than Runner was. Yeah, great motivator and leader, exactly, right? Like, he had, like, I'm not saying he shouldn't be on the team. He was a great, like, he was so good for the team, but you can't say he was the best, like, player. I still think Runner is probably the best GM to ever GM in Overwatch, including every Overwatch League GM as well. Dude scouted so many great players on Runaway. Like, I don't know how many players he, like, found and, like, built around. He had a successful team for so many seasons with so many players consistently getting poached from his teams, all that kind of stuff. The 4-shot Hog, yeah, Hog was in a very different space. Like when you drank, you couldn't move, it didn't give you damage reduction. But the hook was, I think we're still in hook 1.0. So that was the thing, is like he didn't have as many tools, but his hook was broken as shit. Ooh. Oh, this was not very good by Asuka. Oh, saved by who are you? Oh shit, found him. Alright, nice. Zumba's here on Soldier now? Dude, no one wants to play off tank. I don't know how I feel about this bumper Roadhog. Feels like he wants to play everything but Diva. He did it in the last map and it did not work out. Jaehyung sleeps. He's been so good just in this match. Like, it just speaks for itself. Now, advisor? Oh, wow. Good kill. When did this match happen? Beginning of 2017. So this is Apex Season 2. This is actually a tournament that I was at. This is in Korea. I was in this tournament as well, but I got knocked out in groups. But this is Runaway versus Lunatic High, the grand finals. Happened early 2017. Oh, good hook. Oh, and shattered. Zumba is not having a good time. Oh, almost good boot. Who I use got the blade. Please, is he not gonna die? There's no way who I use alive. Okay, there he goes. Dude, Kaiser loves to go for these short pins. Alright, run a Roadhog, making itself valuable. Do you either play against either of these teams? Yeah, Runaway was in our group. I know this might come as a surprise, but we got bopped. This was like the big, as I said at the beginning of this VOD review, this is like the beginning of the end for Western teams. Like, this is when like the Korean teams really got. We were in a group with Runaway and Kongdu Panthera. Alright, they got positioning. Totally forgot I was an hour player? An hour player? I feel like that's more recent. You know, so Fnatic days. Yeah, this is Fnatic. Yo. Wait, are they gonna turn this? Wait, no, I got mixed, lost in the sauce. Runaway and Panthera, yeah, we had a really hard group. We beat Fletter on Flashlights though. You take those. Generally, Custa wants to play professionally again. Don't forget Arc 6. Yeah, we have there's Arc 6 is after this. So Fnatic disbands pretty much after this tournament. And then I joined Arc 6 and I play with like Space, Dante, and XUC. But I wasn't on that team for very long. I was only on there for a few weeks before like we kind of like, well, we didn't disband. It's just no tournaments happened, so we just didn't have anything to do. Wasn't Flashlights was terrible, but Flatter was on them. Yeah. Oh. Can't believe you're gonna leave ZZA and Ginger Pop off the list. Well, I'm saying people that people would know. Not a lot of people here would know ZZA or Ginger Pop. Oh, Jaehyung, stop it! Jaehyung is so good, and he killed the other Ana with the nade. I don't think Fletter deadlifts began in Apex. I think Fletter deadlift began at Seoul. But he did deadlift the shit out of Flash Lux. Literally, I remember talking to Envious, who were better than us, like we were talking about scrims and stuff like that, because we were asking about Flash Lux. We're like, is Flash Lux good? And we're talking, because they scrim them, but we don't scrim them because we're playing them in a match. I'm like, is Flash Lux good? They're like, if you shut down Fleta, you win the game. They're like, we've had moments where he literally beats us 1v6, but if you kill him, the rest of their team falls over. And it's like, okay. Useful. Has Space always been a top in terms of Western tanks? Yeah. I think Space has always been a sick tank. Well, like, not always, right? Like, he came out late, right? Like, Space really started making a name for himself in 2017. Kind of like a late bloomer. Like, he wasn't in my era of early Overwatch, where he was, like, my peak of Overwatch and when I was probably the best was 2016. Like, in the grand scheme of everyone else in the world. While Space's was, like, Space really started coming onto the scene around 2017. I miss the old Custa, the outbro Custa. Yo, what's up, Pope? We were just talking about you. Those were the best times when I was in Al. They was, oh, pin! They were simpler times. The Custa Zen was inspirational. It was. Like, honestly, my flex support was kind of good back in the day. And then I joined Dallas Fuel and they killed my career. I can't believe Dallas Fuel killed my career. Who would have thought? Put me on the mercy. Oh, that was a nasty one clip. Dude, Kaiser just loves rando pins. Ooh. That was a good shatter. Like an old man talking about his war series. Dude, it is. It's true. Toby Zen? Dallas Fuel killed too many. Honestly, that's so true. Dallas Fuel actually has like a pile of bodies. Dallas Fuel didn't really kill my career. Like, obviously, I went to Valiant, had a pretty successful career at Valiant, all that kind of stuff. I just kind of washed out eventually. But they killed a lot of careers. What's the list? Toby Bastion? Toby's playing Mystery Heroes at this point. They're gonna cap. Dallas Fuel, Chipsogen, Coco, Effect, Taimu, Trill, Seagull, Mickey, AKM, Unko. Oh, not a really OG. He didn't really kill OG's career. He kept going. Zachary. XQC, XQC, like, I'm not really going to count that as, like, playing things. That's sort of a different thing. Kind of XQC. I said Trill already. Tried to kill Rascal. They did try and kill Rascal. Kai, if you want to add one to the list. Effect, yeah, we said Effect. I think Effect is the most disappointing one. He was actually such an insane player. Like, Effect, just watching that dude play the game, or even Osu, it was insane. He just really struggled with his mental. Like, really struggled. And I don't think Dallas was the team. Like, I would have, in an alternate universe where Effect played on a Korean team, I would be very interested to see what would happen. Because I think Effect would have been, I don't know if he would have still struggled with the same issues, but like, if he stayed on a Korean team. That's true, they played Zach. Yeah, like Zach, I think Zach didn't, Zach had his opportunity to play, right? Didn't Korean teams not want him from his attitude? I think that is what I think that's what was said. I think he did have a chai with a couple of teams, but they didn't like him because of his attitude. I think that might be true. Yeah, but XU has more. Oh yeah, trust me, XUC is by no means a victim in all this. XUC has more viewers than our, like XUC in a year of streaming these days probably has more views than Overwatch League has had in its entire like existence. Like, XQC is bigger than almost every league in the world. Let's be real. Which is kind of funny when you're thinking about it. If a team of 2017 Custa's played against a team of 2021 Custas, who would win? 2021 Custa. Dude, we sucked. Like, this is... I actually think, because we have been going through the history of Overwatch, this might be the first time that I, like, look at the gameplay and I'm like, this would kind of hold up, right? In 2016 and 2017, we were not good at the game. We've seen some of the games. We weren't very good. But I feel like, I think a lot of teams, like, would beat... Like, I think any OWL team would beat either of these teams. Not even close right now, right? Like... 2021 Custa can play tank, that's true. Still can't play DPS, but you know, you can't win them all. No, Valiant, no, I think the 2021 LA Valiant would beat either of these teams. I believe 2021 Valiant would beat either of these teams. If you put them in a server right now of like there was a time traveling machine, no chance. You guys underestimate how much better everyone has gotten at the game. It's just, yeah, it's natural evolution of the game. Like, people just improve, you learn lessons, and their skill just always keeps going up. On these comps? Yeah, on these comps. It's been 4 years. Like, you guys, like, Valiant gets bopped, but that's because of how good everyone is these days. Like, I'm sure if you looked at the individual play and the decisions, I think the only people that would really hold up super hard would be the Genji players. I think the Genji players, and maybe like Jaehong on the Ana, everyone else would get outclassed. Can you imagine Esker or Stitch playing against Molan Run? Molan Run would absolutely dominate. Molan Run would destroy this server. Like, it wouldn't even be close. Like, obviously, you got some, like, I have some question marks on, like, Hybe and Silver 3 of, like, would they be able to hold up? But, like, even then, like, the players have gotten way better. Yeah, like, if you look at, like, the ultimate usage, the positioning, like, look at how little space, like, let's use right now as an example. Runaway Hells, right? Instead of taking any space, controlling anything, they're just standing on the cart, really. Like, they're just sort of standing around. Like, no one took space. We're playing Lucy or Ana. Everyone just sort of, like, clashed. And that's why it was such honest Overwatch, because there's no, like... It always just felt like it was a DM. And it was always just, like, a brawl. And everyone was just sort of playing together. I watched 2017 Jaehong versus 2021 Jaehong. Well, like, I think the difference you think is, like, obviously Jaehong's hitting a lot of sleeps, and Jaehong was good back here now, but people have gotten way better at playing against Ana as well, right? Like, just the little things. Like, you look at the Genjis, how even the Genjis play against the Ana, they don't really even try and dodge the Ana. They're just sort of hoping the Ana doesn't hit the sleep, in a way, right? Oh! Crystal would hit scan diff? Yeah. Like, I'm not saying that it's, like, super far away, right? But, like, we've had the same discussion of, like, who would win. Season 1... Like, let's go further forward. Do you think that... Let's go a little bit higher. Do you think the London Spitfire of 2021 could beat the London Spitfire of 2018? I think they could. I think the it'd be interesting, but I think 2021 London Spitfire would beat 2018 London Spitfire. There's obviously a lot of things that go into it with comp, and this is obviously just like a random thought experiment, but like, Prophet is a thing, but Prophet obviously was insane back then, but he has kept improving, right? Like, people are very good. Like, the game has gotten way better since 2018. Just their understanding, the individual mechanics, everything. Balance changes kind of muddy the water, and like comps and stuff like that, right? Like, we didn't have roll queue in 2018. Is it bad that now that I watch like Korean commentators, all I think about is Terrace House? When I watch these commentators and like them yelling and talking, I just imagine the Terrace House like couch people talking. Wow, good blade. They're so excited. Yeah, it brings so much hype to it, right? If it's post playoffs, I think 2018 loses because if it's pre-playoffs, I think 2018. No, it's like before GOATs. Like we're talking about like the comps that were kind of played. They didn't play GOATs in 2018 playoffs. They played that was like the triple tank shit, right? Triple tank, double double sniper. I think that's what was played in the finals. But I'm more just talking mechanics. I think mechanically everyone has gotten so much better. Oh, it's interesting that Bumper is holding on this hog. Oh, and that's sort of why I say like I think the Genjis hold up, and it's actually funny. The reason Genji holds up, right? I think the only reason that I think the Genji holds up to a high degree is it was played for so long. But since this moment, right? Like, since this moment, Genji has never really been meta. Like, for a long-standing time. This is really, like... For the rest of this 2017, that's sort of like the last time Genji was, like, prominently played and, like, really harnessed. Well, like, I think Lucio players would get dumpstered. Like, in comparison, I think Tracer players would get dumpstered in comparison. I think Ana players would be better. The tanks, 100%. Like, Reinhardt, like, have you seen how much Kaiser's pinning? Like, it doesn't even make sense at some points. It wasn't even that big until Season 3 of AL. And even Season 3 of AL, it was only good for one tournament, remember? Like, it was only the Summer Showdown which Genji was played. They buffed him for one tournament and then was like, okay, that's enough fun for now. Put him away. Oh. I think this is an insanely time before people realize how good Lucio was be. It's actually very important to note though, it was a lot harder to wall ride back in the day. Because the way it worked is that if you were on a wall, you could not jump off of that wall again. So it was very hard to get these like really clean wall rides and these fast momentum bounce around and all that kind of stuff. So Lucio did get drastically easier to play. Obviously his radius got reduced and stuff like that, but that just made him like a little bit more like having to play with the team. Skewed Vig versus Mickey Brig, but each with their own version. Skewed Brig. I still stand by. Like, Mickey Brig wasn't the best. It was the best for its time, right? Like, Brig players have gotten so much better at understanding. And obviously when Mickey played Brig, oh, no way. Obviously when Mickey played Brig, no one had really touched it, right? Like, but but Mickey was on Brig 1.0. Brig 1.0 just wins, right? Like, Brig 1.0, we can all agree was the worst. It was broken on so many different levels. Oh, no way! What is happening? I am lost in the sauce. Wow. Lid tick high. Because, yeah, the only reason they played so much Brig is because they couldn't play everything else. And then everyone realized how broken Brig was. Do you remember when you used to just like they're like, we can't play Tracer, let's just pick a hero that just one-shots Tracer? Oh, that was an important hook. Bumper! Didn't Rascal play a bit of Brig when she first came out? Rascal was on the same team as Mickey. No, Rascal wasn't on a team when Brig came out. Yeah, Rascal wasn't on a team when Brig came out because he left Dallas Fuel and he never went to another team until 2019, where he joined the San Francisco Shock. Because he went to Dallas Fuel and then left Dallas Fuel. And then he signed to San Francisco Shock. So he was probably playing Brig on the side. And then he became known as like the best Brig on the San Francisco Shock. And then inherently in the world. Spoilers. Some of us haven't caught up with 2019. You got some shit coming for you then. Haksal was better. Yeah, I guess you can make that right. But I guess Rascal had the BAP in his back pocket that I think makes me like it more, right? Even when Brig came out, the smart players went Farah and killed it. Well, it was the shift, right? When the problem with Brig, when Brig first came out, is that she was strong and she adds a lot, but you still needed two healers. Because of the way that her kit worked, she still needed to be close to melee range. And if you only got a pack every 6 seconds, sometimes it was really hard to make it work. So people were trying to like play her with like certain things. Brig wasn't considered stupidly broken until you played multiple tanks, right? Brig really shines when you're playing in a big clump. And when people worked out goats, that's when Brig really became the best. Before that, Brig was essentially just a tracer killer, right? Like in a dive killer. You needed speed with Brig, and Lucio Brig wasn't enough healer. Yeah, exactly, right? Okay, Hanamura. What do we got? Triple tank versus... Dude, Lunatic High have not switched off of this Genji once. Right? Am I right about that? Lunatic High has played Ana Genji this entire match. Runaway's up 3-1. Oh, no, Release Brig was whatever you wanted it to be. Release Brig was just dumb on so many levels. Like, can you, like, remember, like, think about it. Rally was permanent. That's the thing that's crazy to me. And the armor went under Zen's shields. Just, like, think about that. You just had a 350 health Zen, essentially. And you could bash Ryan through his shield. Oh yeah, and armor was better, right? It used to block 5 damage, and now it only blocks 3 damage, right? Oh, that was a dangerous beat by Toby. Oh, that was a good shatter. MTD. Yeah, Angie had a 600 health shield. That's true. And she had 250 health, right? So she had a 600 health shield, she had 250 health, everything about her was better. We went back to 5 damage a while ago. Yeah, I think what they ended up doing is they ended up nerfing how much armor everyone has. But Brig Rally armor had a glitch that went unnoticed for months. That's right, I forgot about that. I love the like intense zooms. Her packs were instant, yeah. Her packs were instant and also gave 75 over armor if you could. Dude, I think they lost 50% of DPS players when Brig came out. I straight up believe they lost like a good chunk of DPS players as soon as the game came out. Tank player stonks went up, DPS player stonks went down. I don't know what thing Bumper thought he was doing. This is like, look, this is the most Bumper shit I've ever seen. Look at this. Damn, I didn't get one, guys. Literally, I miss old Overwatch, you and me both. Eska, I don't know where the hell you were at, but I don't think it should be here. Oh, you're good. Nice job. It's crazy that Brig nerfed to the ground, but still strong pick today. What the current iteration of Brig is a very good character. Brig is a very good character in the way she is designed now. I can understand getting rid of her bash as a stun, but everything else about her kit is cool. I think it's interactive, it's responsive, it has a niche. There are times in which Brig isn't good, but it does the purpose. Like, Brig was designed to counter dive, right? She just like overdid that by like a huge margin and then also broke the game if you played with tanks. But I think Brig where she currently is in a good spot. Like, I think if you make the bash like something different that also feels good in her kit, like, I think she's a fun hero. It's annoying that a support has a shield. Yeah, but she's a melee support. Like, she has to be melee. So if you take away a shield, you need to give her range, right? I don't mind the shield part. I mind the indestructible part. They also nerfed her self-inspire healing. They nerfed her shield. I think she's in a good spot. She's super, like, she's very pliable. She can die very quickly. Oh, nice sleep. I think she needs a less impactful ultimate. But she needs an ultimate that, like, is useful and defensive orientated, right? Like, Transcendence and Beat are such good ultimates as well, right? The reason Rally, I think, is so good is because it lasts so long. I wouldn't even mind if it was really strong but only lasted like 4 seconds, right? If it gave everyone a ton of armor for like 4 seconds, I'd be more down. 5 seconds. But the problem with Rally, I think, is that everyone and around her becomes indestructible for like 10 seconds. It feels like. Oh, that was almost really nice by Runner. Oh, the people with the biggest beef with Brig, Doom, Genji, 2 tricks. Oh, and Wrecking Ball, right? Like, the very heroes that Brig was designed to counter, people are upset that they're being countered by that hero. It's like, every hero should have a counter, you know? It's like, you don't hear Pharah players being upset that Cassidy exists, right? Like, the way it's supposed to work, that if you're being countered, you should switch. Yeah, you do. Okay, well, not all of them. People are gonna complain for the sake of complaining. Oh, nasty, dude. Okay. Liv Kaiser. He is in Frowny Town. Dude, this... I forgot how impossible 2CP was to push. You need, like, the world's cleanest team fight. It's like now, but Dallas killed RCK also. I wouldn't say RCK, like, I think, yeah, kind of, right? Like, I know what you mean, he retired after joining Dallas. I would say he's kind of in the same boat as Zachary. I think RCK and Zachary they both had their opportunity. Oh my god, this is toxic. They both had a good opportunity, right? And they just never really performed to that degree. What? Later, Jaehong. I don't like this play by Runaway. I feel like they're not going to clean the fight up fast enough. You know what I mean? When they go there, when they lose their Ana, the respawns of Jaehong is just going to be there before anything else. Didn't RCK get traded to Boston? I think RCK went from Boston to Dallas? No, actually, you're right. Didn't he go to Boston? Maybe he went from Dallas to Boston. Because he got traded for Note, right? So yeah, like, so Dallas didn't kill his career. Boston killed his career. But I also just think RCK never really had those crazy matches, because his best hero was Sombra, right? But he was a off tank. I actually don't even know what role he played. Because he played a lot of DPS before Rollock. He was an off tank, right? But he played a lot of Sombra. Right? Why do I think of RCK as a Sombra player? He was Diva Sombra now, yeah. Oh! Oh! Because you're insane? I think I'm right. Oh, during GOATs, yeah. I think it was because during GOATs he played Sombra. Maybe that's why. C9 in Apex? Nah, that was over. Because you don't get ticks as well, remember. You either cap or you don't. Oh my god, that Hulk took so long to die. Oh, damn. That's such an important sleep. Oh, goodbye, J-Hunk. Yeah, the Hawks, Alzaya. Triple tank. I actually don't mind the triple tank. I think it can be hard to win with the Genji. I think I would like to defend with the triple tank. I don't know if I like the attack triple tank. I'll give Ghost this much credit. The variants had great names. Ghost was fun. Like, Ghost was a good meta, and it was fun. It just lasted too long. And that's the problem with GOATs. Everyone who says they like GOATs, it was fine. It was just awful to watch because it lasted so long. Oh, he's dead. Zero map to map variance, exactly right. Like, everyone played GOATs everywhere. There was no map strategy. There was no nothing. It was literally just you played GOATs. So you were either good at it or you were bad at it. Yeah, GOATs was... The team was called GOATs. The team that first ran it was an EU contenders team. It was called GOATs, and they ended up... Because they weren't very good players, if I remember correctly, right? Like, they weren't, like, players you would know. But they ended up dominating European contenders because this comp was so good. And then, the French team picked it up. And they became better at it. Who am I thinking of? Gator was it NA attendees? Oh, NA attendees? Maybe it was NA attendees. Who am I thinking of? I think I'm thinking of the European team that picked it up, the French team. Who am I thinking of? I don't know. Eagle. I'm thinking of Eagle Gaming. That's who I was thinking of. I was thinking of Eagle Gaming, who like dominated, I think, in Europe playing it. Because I think GOATs was a trials team, right? That then ended up dominating through trials and then they went to contenders. Am I right about that? I wasn't really like paying a ton of attention at the time. Clockwork Vendetta? No, I wasn't really thinking Clockwork Vendetta. That was a team that I know did the same thing. There it is. All right, here we go. To Dorado. The crowd, yeah, the crowds are crazy. Watch USA versus Korea first World Cup. I think you mean second World Cup. But yeah, that's the next one. We were about to watch that VOD and then we realized that we skipped like a year. So the next VOD that we're going to do for history of Overwatch is going to be Team USA versus Team Korea in 2017 World Cup. I got debated. Hey, you got to get him in and then just knock him out. Overwatch was so big. Yeah, this is back when Overwatch was respected. You remember those days? You remember when everyone was really excited about Overwatch and it was really hype and everyone was super excited? It's not like that anymore. I don't remember that game, but there's no way USA wins. I won't spoil it for you though. But I will say USA was the heavy favorites heading into that tournament. Well, actually, Team USA and Team Korea were the favorites going into that, but Team USA was like the best that everyone like thought they were gonna be. Everyone thought it was gonna roll. Honestly, so did they. Confidence might have been their downfall. Do you mean Outlaws? Yeah, well, that a lot of that team did end up becoming Outlaws, right? Oh, Huxell down. I'm surprised Runaway is still committing to this triple tank strategy. Like, I feel like they were winning the Genji mirror. They were straight up winning the Genji mirror, and now they're just like, let's not play the Genji mirror anymore. Didn't they throw map 1 versus UK, then reverse sweep? No. You might be thinking of 2018. In 2017, USA only played Korea. '2018 was the we don't need to do goats here, yeah. Well, apparently they were dominating in scrims. I remember 2018, they were super confident because I remember them like disrespecting us, like Australia, and I heard that they were dominating in scrims and stuff like that. And then I think in 2018 didn't they get knocked out? They lost first round to Team UK, right? When I interviewed Moth, yeah, the World Cup, I think 2018 World Cup was the first moment that everyone was like, holy fuck, we have to play goats. Like, literally, you just have to play goats. Everyone was trying to find ways to beat goats. Team Australia played Torb. This guy on Torb, that's what we did in 2018. Because we knew we can't, because our first round, so Team USA lost to Team UK. Team Australia lost to Team South Korea. We got South Korea in the first round, and we were like, I was talking to Goomba about it because this is like out of Valiant, and we're like, we knew we couldn't beat South Korea at goats. So we're like, we have to throw something at them. So I played Torb. And Team UK was really good because they adopted goats very early, because EU were the first like real major adopters of goats. And they had fusions on the Reinhardt, who was really good at the time and just understood goats really well at the beginning. And that's why fusions got signed, like to like Al and stuff like that, right? EU was very tank heavy, yeah. Literally, goats was right up EU's alley. Also, Runaway's kind of getting rolled, so they go back to they're on the Genji mirror now, at least. With goats, do you think the only big plays are from Diva Bombs, nothing else? No, absolutely not. People worked out Diva Bombs eventually, anyway, right? Like, I think the biggest plays came from Zenyatta's just doing a ton of DPS and Zaya's. I think the two most important people in GOATS was the Zenyatta and the Zaya. And the Reinhardt. Like, you had to win the Reinhardt mirror, but I think Divas weren't that impactful. Because and this is why GOATS is a bad meta. And like, I think people look at it with rose-colored glasses. The most important thing in GOATS was how quickly you charge your ultimate. That was really the most important thing. And then using those ults effectively. Killing someone in the neutral was almost impossible because of how much health and how much healing everyone had. So it was all about how quickly you got your ultimate and then how effectively you used it. And every character mattered, right? Like, the only way Divas really got a big kills was because the grab was good, right? GOATS wasn't Overwatch, but at least what I think Overwatch is. It was a strategy game, pure and simple. As I said, it wasn't a bad thing. It was just bad that it lasted so long. Oh, wow. Nice fire strike. Ultimate charge, and everyone just got tons of ultimates as well because of how much healing was going out. Everyone just took and absorbed a ton of damage because it just got healed up. So it's like no amount of ult charge nerfs could fix that without ruining the game, right? Because the crowd only... Well, Diva Bombs was like... I think Diva Bombs was one of the most surprising elements that ever came out of GOATs. Because everything else was pretty, like, stock standard of, like, if they grabbed and they didn't have a Transcendence, they just died, right? But, like, Diva Bombs was always, like, the biggest, like, unknown of, like, how many is it gonna kill? Would it be a hot take to say that Sinatra is the best Xayah to touch the game? Yeah. No, like, sorry, it's not a hot take. No, I think that's a cold take. Sinatra was the best Xayah to play the game. Like, he... In GOATs and everything that he did for Xayah, like, he was the best. Like, no doubt in my mind. He was better than Sominsu with Xayah. And I think San Francisco Shock... I don't know if they would have been better than the Vancouver Titans if... they didn't have Sinatra on Xayah. Keyword was... I don't think Xayah's been played since then. Like... I would say Sinatra theoretically is still the best Xayah to touch the game because no one's played Xayah since then, really. Oh! That was clean. Just their situational awareness during these times is crazy. Defran? No, Defran wasn't a very good Xayah. Defran was fine, but he wasn't nowhere close to some of the best. Decay, yeah, Decay is really good. Double bubble was a thing for a bit, yeah, but like Xayahs weren't really the carry of that, right? What? Then Ryan turns around. See, Runaway goes to Genji and they start winning again. Just play Genji. Hooked another one. Hello, Custa. My name is Gobbin Schluber. You look very handsome today. Which teammate of yours did you say grinded the hardest? Effect. You want to ask me how good Dreamcast was next? I would say Effect would probably work the hardest. To a bad degree, he worked the hardest. I think the person who I think has the best work ethic and has good balance would be Space. Space always worked hard. And he always, like, he always showed up, like, for the most part. Flex had a couple of issues, yeah, and that's it, right? Yeah, you're okay, Sogon. Just, it's okay. Let's just not talk about it, right? Like, that shit's come and gone. There's no point in, like... I agree with you, Sogon, like 100%. But I don't want to have that's not the point of the conversation, right? Like... Custa had Space before the braid buff, yeah. Well, like, I had Space when he was young, right? Like, Space was young and, like, he was a lot more quiet. And I think his work ethic is like, and like what he does is like, I have a lot of respect for Space. Like, I really do. So. Alright. When he had streams, yeah, Space hasn't been streaming recently. I think he's just spending time with family. I think it's the right thing to do. Take a break. Oh, Kaiser pin. Damn, who are you, Genji? Kinda nasty with it.
Wobble wobble, motherfucker.
Woo. Yo, Polag, thank you very much for the Prime sub. Custa, Tracy you played against in Out Season 1 and 2. Who are the top 3 of all? Striker. It would go Striker. I really hate playing against Soon. I just really disliked playing against Soon, so I'd put Soon. I don't think he was the best, but I think he was annoying, and that's what made him such a good tracer. I just didn't enjoy playing against him, and I never played against Effect. I only played with Effect. And like Sabielby was also really good as well, right? Tracer was only really played in the first half of Season 1 anyway. Season 3 and Season 4 of Owl were heavy sniper metas. And then Stage 3 and 4 were sniper metas, and Season 2 was GOATs. So, we didn't actually get a lot of Tracer play. Do you think Owl, Runaway could have made it to Owl if they replaced Kaiser with a Flexi PS and a couple of new support players from ladder? What's wrong with the support players they have? Like, I think this Runaway version could have made it to Owl as well. Like, I don't know what happened with the players, and they probably replaced them, but like, I think if we learned anything from 2019 Runaway is that these players could easily have competed in the league. All 6 of these players could have competed in the league. But remember, there's a year between here and when first season of Owl started. Oh, joke swing and a miss? Ah, I see what you mean. I see what you did there. Ah. Shoof. Straight over my head. Are they actually on a full hold? Full holds are pretty rare, I feel like, back in the day. I just don't like that Runaway isn't just taking, like, I don't know. Woo, nice kill. Who are you is just going sicko mode in this defense. I remember Runaway not wanting to travel to US, so they stayed in contenders. I actually can't remember why Runaway wasn't in first season of... I thought it was because, if I remember correctly, of what I thought the reason that Runaway didn't come is because Stitch was underage. And because Stitch was underage, they wanted to stay together as a team instead of leave him behind. I think they didn't want to split. Didn't Runner also have military service after this? I don't know what happened with Runner, exactly. Who do you think is the best Overwatch 1 player in each role, like right now or in the history of Overwatch? Alright, map 7, baby. In the history? Huh. That's a hard question. I think it's either Jonak or Jaehong for support. I think for tank... Choi? Yeah, I think it's Choi as well. And then for DPS, it's Prophet.
팬분들 정말 최고의 분들만 모신 것 같습니다. 하지만 이제 환호성 지를 시간들이 없습니다. 마지막이에요, 이게 마지막이거든요.
I'd probably go Prophet. I'd probably go Prophet, Jonak, Choi.
맞는 맵이 아닌가. 뭔가 되게 웅장하면서도 성까지 있고 마지막에
If I was going through it.
팀이 이기는 거거든요.
이 평화로운 IMR대 전장을 누가 더 화끈하게 들어가서 상대방에게 고개 성공할지 더 말을 많이 해요, 러너 선수. 인생의 모든 기운을 그냥 끌어담아서
He looks so stressed. Everyone looks so stressed.
미로 선수가 라인하르트
I would also be really stressed.
소식 좋아.
양팀 다 똑같이 대비 위주로 하면 안 되겠다라는 생각으로 똑같이 피지컬로 싸우자라는 생각이고요.
Alright, what do we got? Yeah, just play the Genji mirrors.
제네타가 강할 수 있습니다.
러너웨이 쪽에서는 수비 포커싱 조합을 들고 나왔을 때 약간 진입각 자체를 잘 못 보는 경향이 드러났었는데
Janak with 350 HP armor was a raid boss to raid bosses. It wasn't even season 2. Like, it wasn't when Brig was a thing. Jonak in season 1 was unkillable.
이제 준우승이에요.
Like, literally unkillable. The way that the NYXL played around Jonak on that Zenyatta it was unstoppable.
조합을 정했기 때문에
Like, they just, Mano played in such a way that was so sacrificial, and then everyone just protected Jonak, and then you have Sabiobi like just existing in your backline. It felt impossible to get to him.
다시 와 이제 들어올 겁니다. 루나틱 쪽에서요.
루나틱의 조합은 궁이고 뭐고 부족한
Well, it was stoppable. They didn't win, but that's because the meta shifted. That is not because that no one beat the NYXL. Well, actually, I guess London won the first one, but no one beat NYXL really when they were playing that comp and that style. The only reason they were lost in season 1 towards the players is because we ended up in like a tank. We ended up in like a triple tank, double sniper, solo support meta.
톱이 위험하죠.
미로 선수가 약간 좀 붕 떴죠. 자, 전반 카이들 잡았습니다.
이거 원세븐 때문에
Can you rank Defran? No.
박살 카이들입니다.
이러면 제네타 차장이 와요. 우주와 스플릿으로만 때리면 끝나요.
이것도 뚫려요. 이거 어떻게 이게 됐어요.
또 부러져요. 또 부러져요. 러너웨이.
저 멀리
Alright, easy first cap.
남겨두고 뒤로 빠지면 되죠.
자 12시
진짜 이 루나틱의 파산 공세를 견뎌낼 만한 체력이 없는 것 같습니다 지금.
그러면 어떤 체력이라도 전방권입까지 써야죠. 진부한 표현입니다만 이거 어떡하라고요 지금. 바로 뚫려버렸어요. 네 미로 선수가 A 거점에 뛰어
Runaway and the bridge TM.
덮치러 간건 좋았습니다만 아예 포커스 자체가 안 이루어졌어.
He's sweating, dude. Everyone's. Ooh.
들어옵니다 이거.
나노 겐지로 잘못 들어갔다가 초월 맞으면 큰일 날 수 있잖아요.
Oh, wow. He's just running Stitch down.
체력 좀 빠져요.
Interesting that Jaehong is on Zen.
그래도 잘하긴 했어요.
Why is Jaehong on Zen?
힐러가 갔기 때문에
자 제대로 돌아보자 일단. 소리 방법은 역할 아시거든요 이거 안 쏘.
Prophet better than Leave, yes.
본인이 체력이 없는.
Leave had an incredible season, and he deserved MVP of this season. Prophet's been fucking since, you know, Leave was in diapers. Obviously not true, but Prophet has been good since, like, season 3 of Apex, right? Like, that's why Prophet is considered the GOAT, because he is just, like, he has been so good throughout the test of time. Fleta greater than Prophet? If you think Fleta's better than Prophet, yeah, I think you're just wrong. I think Prophet is better than Fleta. Obviously, you're comparing GOAT to GOAT. It's kind of like Michael Jordan or LeBron James, but I think Prophet is better than Fleta.
계속해서 젠야타를 물기 위해서 뒤로 도는 건데 그거를 준반 선수가 지켜주고
Peace out, Sargon. Thanks for hanging out.
잡아내고 있어요.
Yeah, this is a series. I watch this for like any game. Yeah, I have them on my YouTube. If you want to go back and look at my old ones, we've been going through like the entire time. Like, so we started in like beta tournaments that I played in and stuff like that. Oh, yeah, that was kind of sick. We played in beta tournaments, and then we've been making our way through times, like influential moments of history. So if you want to go check those out, check my YouTube.
포커스가 안 되는데 포커스 비비기 이렇게 얘기하죠. 무너집니다. 카이도 무너집니다. 성벽도 성문도 무너지고 카이도 무너지고.
Who Are You is just on a different level right now. And this is sort of like, this is the Who Are You that I was telling you about, right? Like, Huxell's really good, but Who Are You is just... I don't know how he did so much damage outside of Blade. I trust in 5 years the GOAT will be Kev's, and that's it. Like, obviously, like, I think in Overwatch 1, I would say the GOAT is Prophet, right? But in going into Overwatch 2, it's everyone's game, right? Like, who knows? Like, Prophet could retire for all we know. Oh, good pulse bomb. Dude, holy shit, Lunatic High is just on it. It's kind of crazy that they just like switched to Zen for this one for some reason. And they just started using Transcendence. Like, I have no understanding of why they made this transition to the Zen instead of the Ana. They're gonna cap. Holy crap. Will you review the Apex Season 4 finally? Maybe. That one wasn't on my list. I wasn't planning on doing Apex Season 4 finals. I think the next ones was gonna be, I was gonna do Overwatch World Cup. 2017 World Cup, and then I was gonna do Overwatch League. Start Overwatch League. Zen for the Nano Blades? Yeah, but you're giving up your own Nano Blade, right? Like, and the reason I'm saying this is like Lunatic High had not played Zen the entire series. Toby played a little bit of it, but it's interesting that the last second they flipped it. Maybe it was for Kaiser, yeah. I wonder if it's because they're playing Reinhardt. They're like, if they're just going to play the Reinhardt in this dive, we should just play Zen because they can't get onto our Zen. Okay, we're not going to give Who Are You the title, okay? I refuse to say, okay, technically, Who Are You won in our, but... he technically didn't because he would have to play a singular minute in an important match for me to say that, and he did not. So. Who I use a really interesting one. For someone who had so many accolades heading into the league, obviously I think he was underage for a while. He just hasn't really done anything in the league. How many rings do you have? I have one. I didn't get a ring, but I won a stage. So why? So then you have to ask me, why isn't Molly the GOAT? Huh? Why everyone just forget about Molly? Why not develop? Yeah, develop. Why didn't he win Rookie of the Year? He really deserved it, honestly. How can you win the championship in your rookie year and not get Rookie of the Year? I don't understand. You guys would have been in London in the Season 1 playoffs and the meta didn't change to Hanzo. You don't need to bring up these pressure points. You don't need to remind me that we were really good heading into the playoffs and then Blizzard decided to change Hanzo's entire kit to make him stupidly overpowered in a situation where we didn't have a very good Hanzo and Prophet ended up being the greatest Hanzo to ever play the game. Yeah, I guess if you're, I think you might be right about that one. I'm not salty about it at all. Don't worry, I'm not salty. Nah, I would have been surprised if we won the whole thing. We were really good in Season 4, Stage 4 meta, but yeah. We would have lost to Philly as well. I think if we beat London in the semi-finals, I'm pretty sure we would have lost to Philly. We did not have a good track record against Philly in scrims going into the playoffs. It wasn't our meta, but, you know, maybe if the meta just didn't change, but... Nanoblade! This needs to be really good. Oh my god, he can't find anyone. He's lost in the sauce. Oh no. Lunatic High doesn't have anything though. Oh my god, are they gonna hold? Oh, Huxell's dead. Oh my god. Dude, it's kind of crazy how much Runaway fell apart. Like, Runaway absolutely fell apart. They had a 3-1 lead, remember? I don't know, yeah. You know that Birdering and Profit is a good DPS line? Yeah. Hard Lucio diff? Sometimes you just gotta hit him with it. Yeah, Toby was like the GOAT Lucio back in these days. Oh, wow. Good execution of Jaehong. Oh, there we go. I remember you used to describe Philly's Season 1 playstyle as they used to go individual. Philly were never the team with the best strategy. Their individual performances on all the heroes were just dumb aggressive. And that's why Philly were the team that came second in the league and had like a ton of really good performances, but also almost lost to fucking Shanghai every time they played them. Is because they played so chaotically in a way in which, like, if their players just weren't on, they just struggled. Like, EQO in Season 1 was just feast or famine. He would just fucking go. And he either killed everyone or died. There was no in between. And Carpe was the same, right? What's the meta at this point? In this match, the meta was 100% Ana Nanoblade. Like, the Nanoblade meta for Apex Season 2 was, like, the most important meta. Everything is built around the Nanoblade. Is Carpe or Fleta better all the time? Probably Fleta, because he's got a championship under his belt now. He's an MVP. He's got a championship. It's definitely Fleta, actually. I am a Carpe simp, though. I feel like people don't give Carpe enough credit. I think Carpe has done better with less. You know what I mean? But Fleta also did the same thing on Seoul Dynasty in the first season. Fleta also plays every hero. Carpe used to as well. But those times have sort of come and gone. Cha cha. he's voicing his shurikens. Carpe needs to win something, and I'm a big believer of winning is like the biggest statement that you can make in your career. And it's like, that's why I have a, like, you know, we talked about this before with like shit, who are we talking about, where people wanted to give it to someone and I was like, you can't do it if he hasn't done it in playoffs. Can't remember who I'm thinking of. Oh, Rookie of the Year. Yeah, it was for Rookie of the Year. And people wanted to give it to somebody. I can't remember what it was. I can't remember my argument. Oh, did the Winston just jump off? No, he's like... Who are you? Final fight. One. Another one. Okay, Blade, not the grass blade. He goes down. Huxell down. This needs to be like the world's greatest primal. And it just wasn't. Ah, the Icon Bridge. The Hall of Death, dude. Toby's place. Dude, look how small Who Are You is. He's like 15 at this time as well. Oh, is it Shy Rookie of the Year? Was it Shy Rookie of the Year? No, I think it was someone else.
야, 마지막에 그 보여줬던 하나씩 노리고 들어가면서 잘라주는 포커싱이 진짜 점프 한번 들 때마다 한 명씩 죽어나갔거든요.
우승하면요 트로피를 향해 달려가야죠. 우승하면요 트로피를 향해 달려갈 수 있어요.
Ah. Kaja!
1년간
Are they going to show sad Runaway? Almost certainly.
인생에 후회가 없고요. 이건 트로피를 볼 때마다 다시 한번 의욕을 살려낼 수 있는 거거든요. 그렇죠. 루나틱이 해냈습니다.
누구에겐 1년 반입니다만 누구에겐 5년간 6년간
Dude, look at the crowds. Oh, to have tournaments.
평생 못할 수
Imagine if Eska went to Seoul. He was supposed to be in Seoul in Season 1. But I think Fled is better than Eska.
정말 많이 안 날 정도고 선수들 류재웅 선수도 눈물이 그렇게 많은 선수는 아닌데
But I guess if you pair Eska and Fleder.
눈물 날 수밖에 없는 그런 상황이죠.
많은 동방에서 주가가 나타났습니다만
Someday we'll get back to this. One day. One day. Alright. That is it for my VOD review, the history of Overwatch. I know we talked about a lot of different things. It was cool to watch the meta and like these, like we're starting to see like development of like the game come through. And like that is my favorite meta of all time. That Ana Genji meta, just because of how back and forth it is. There's like a lot of individual plays. Everyone's important. Everything is big, but it's not just around these one big, like, oh, everyone just walks at each other 6-mans and one person grabs and then everyone dies or something like that. Like, it feels like there's so many brawls going on and so many different fronts. It was chaotic to watch and it was lovely. And it was just one of the best times to play. It was awesome. Good to check it out. Let me know what you guys think, like, in the comments about, like, everything we talked about. If you hear me say something stupid or you agree with me, let me know in the comments. Because, like, I feel like we've talked about a lot. And, like, there's so many things that, like, happened. And then we're starting to get to the thing of, like, the teams are becoming, like, the Overwatch League teams. And everything goes on from there. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I should really plug it more so that you guys do it more. We're closing in on 20,000 subs on YouTube. So anything helps. I appreciate all the love that you guys have been giving. I know it's a slow off season. Hopefully the history of Overwatch gives you something to do. So thank you very much for watching and I will see you guys next time.